Well, I think it's very important for people of my age and above to know what their capabilities are. I mean, when I took my test for driving, it was quite a long time ago, more than 50 years ago, and the Highway Code, for example, gave instructions on how to drive a coach and horses and what to do with a whip. Now, I haven't seen a highway code since then, so you lose sight of things, and the whole of driving has changed since I started. And you know, we learn as we go on and we think we're good, but actually I think most of us really, I've been persuaded, and I think other people should be persuaded, that we've really got to take a bit of stock really and work out whether we're good enough, and to ask people who know whether we are good enough, and not to take us off the road, but to improve our techniques, just remind us of what we're supposed to be doing on the road, and concentrating our minds a bit. I noticed when I was around 55 to 60 that driving at night was a little difficult. I thought it was the manufacturers of headlights, that they'd made them too bright and blue and flashy. It wasn't until I went to an optician who said, "Oh, well, you've got a little bit of a cataract. We've got nothing worth operating on, but it makes headlights seem a bit too bright and dazzling." Now, I take account of that, so I don't drive too much at night, because I know that I'm going to be really have a problem with these lights. So older people must think about that, must think what they can do and what they can't do. You get a bit tired if you drive, say, 100 miles. You're going to get more tired than if you were 40 or 30. So maybe you should break the journey somewhere. All of these things just need taking stock of. It's simply not good enough just to motor on as we do. People of my age have got to realise that over the last 10, 20, 30, 40 years, things have changed. The rules for motorways, the rules for signalling, lane discipline, all these things we sort of take for granted, and we've really got to involve ourselves in just finding out what we really ought to be doing. We get away with it, I think, actually. These tests show me that my lane discipline is bad. They have shown me that my signalling really is not as it should be. The course I underwent with the driver awareness people just showed me how much better use I could make of my mirrors. Not just looking through the rear window, carefully looking to the side, to the left, and making sure that nobody in the blind spot, and then being courteous above all. And it's okay, older people probably drive within the speed limit most often. They may drive a little bit too slowly, but they need to be a bit more courteous, I think, than we are. We tend to think we know it all, and we don't, and we need to really improve ourselves. We need to stay on the road. We want to stay on the road, but we've got to take the advice of the people who are a little bit more clever than us on the road. As it happens, I had the misfortune, while we've been preparing this initiative, to rupture my Achilles tendon, which has meant I've been wearing a sort of moon boot. Now it's meant that I've had a problem driving. Luckily it's been my left foot, so I can drive an automatic. But Wessex Drivability has been able to show me exactly how I can drive properly, even though I've got this disability. So it may be unfortunate for me that I did it, but actually it's quite fortunate in a way, because I've been able to demonstrate not only to myself, but I hope to other people, that if you have an injury, if you have a disability, help is at hand. And you can do a course which makes you fit to drive. And I think that's pretty important. We need to be more aware of some of the problems we face. And I think if we can get this message across, and I'm so pleased to be able to help to do this, that this initiative is not to stop people driving, it's not to assess them in the way that we give them points on how well they drive. It is to encourage them to drive better, to make themselves more efficient, and to make them stay on the road, have a good time, drive where they want, but do it safely.